Our next guest is a multi-talented singer and songwriter who says he uses passion, purpose, faith, and love to fuel his music.
And now he's ready to share it all with his new single, a forthcoming album, live shows. Elijah Bland, welcome to Arise.
Thank you for having me.
There's nothing bland about you, my friend. Hi, Elijah. How are you?
Great.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, is it true you taught yourself how to play the piano?
I did.
How does that work exactly?
Well, it works when you have a piano in the basement of your home. My family moved into our house when I was 6 months old, so all I ever knew there was a piano in the basement, and nobody else in my family played. And so I'm like, well, what's this thing? And started playing around with it, and I was always attracted to music. And before I knew it, I was trying to learn little melodies and mimic what I heard on the radio. My parents, big music lovers, and always playing 8 tracks and records around the house. And I'm just planking out little notes. And
so
by
one note at a time.
Yeah, really.
And what were you listening to? What were those records, those influences?
Anything from Bob Marley to James Brown to Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye. You name it.
So I Want You Back comes on, and you're just playing.
That was actually one of the first full songs I was like really proud of myself to learn how to play.
Oh.
That whole piano slide down and to start the song, I thought I was on my way.
And
Awesome.
you played basketball as well?
Yeah.
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you make the
NCAA.
leap from the basketball court to the music industry?
They're actually pretty connected.
How?
Well, music was always in the background of sports. I mean,
Yeah.
it was something I loved to do. It was a real passion of mine, but it was something that was just kind of a hobby, and I did it, on the side. As I got through high school and started getting recruited for basketball, I went to college, played basketball in college, and my freshman year, I had a teammate who was a senior at the time, who had some home recording software, and he didn't play any instruments, but he was just, messing around with stuff and creating some little tracks, and so I would do the keyboard parts for the songs he was writing. Turns out we started making songs together. Then I go get my own equipment. After he graduates, I'm there just figuring it all out, and linked up with a local record label and started doing some stuff for their artists. And for a while, I said, I'm just going to be in the background. I want to be a songwriter, producer. And
like
I did
Rico Love.
It always starts that way. I mean, and so I did that initially, and in writing those songs for other people, one of the engineers we were working with told me, your references you're doing for these artists sound really good, and they sound sometimes better than what you're doing for those artists. So why don't you come in? And I said, man, I'm a student. I can't really afford studio time and all that stuff. He said, come in for a couple hours. We'll just work on some stuff. And we did a couple songs, and I tested them out. And what do you guys think of this? And played them for people, and people loved it.
So from songwriting and producing to now you're in the spotlight. Tell us about the new single that we're going to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, it's called For the Record. It's actually the first thing I did in quite a while since the release of my full-length album, which is called Soul Centric. And that was back in 2008 that I originally did that. Michael Baisden picked it up and put it on his show. And so that really got some national attention. And I'm really grateful for him, to him for that. But the new single For the Record, I wrote on the way to perform on the Capitol Jazz Super Cruise.
Wow.
And I started it, and then it was incomplete, and on the plane I finished the song, and I was doing like a little warm-up gig in Miami before we left for the cruise, and I said, let me try this out, and did it, and it was really well received. So from that point, I said, I got to include this in my set on the cruise, and big stage, all this, so I ended up doing it there, and it was really well received, and this was before it was recorded, so once I recorded it, it was, it's been a lot of love for that song.
After our viewers hear you sing, they're going to want to know where to see you live. And you've got some big dates coming up.
Yes, right. In New York, I'm debuting my show called The Elijah Bland Experience. I call it kind of a one-man show on steroids. And it is, with a full band, but it's going to be a lot of the different dynamics of me as an artist, as a person. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, musician. I'm also an actor. I do, a lot of different things. So I want all of that to be embodied in more than just your typical live performance.
And that big show is going to be 54 below 54?
54 below. It's at 54 below on July 30th, and I'm really excited about that. So come out and support it, anybody who's listening.
And really quickly, the Love Yourself campaign, before we let you perform, really quickly, tell us all about that.
Love Yourself campaign was started from a song I wrote called Wash the Mirror, and the subtitle is Love Yourself, and it's designed to empower women to, have a positive relationship with their self-image. And that's really what that song was about. It took its own legs and wings, and people are loving that too. So Wash the Mirror is the name of that song, and that's you'll kind of, once you go on there on YouTube, you'll find anything else connected to the Love Yourself campaign.
All right. Well, we're going to love to hear you sing, and we're going to let you go get ready to perform.
Thank you.
Now, singing his new song, For the Record, ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Bland.
Put the needle on the record, baby, and let it go around slowly. I know we're meant to be together, baby, and I would wait again if I had to, just as patiently. But for the record, I just got to say, baby, it's fitting in the groove so perfectly. I've had a lot of 45s. I'm finished with the single life. I want to make enough love so that we know we belong on the record, babe. Let me play your favorite love song, and I don't mind if we repeat it. And I flip it to the B-side. You know I love the B-side. Oh, that's where it gets deep, baby. You know I love it when it's deep, baby. You know I said I'll never, 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 never leave you. And when I said it all, I meant it. And now we're right where we need to be, yeah. Oh, moments like this need to be documented. So that's why, for the record, I've got to say, baby, I just gotta say to you, it's fitting in the groove so perfectly. Yeah, I've had a lot of 45s. Said I've had a lot of 45s. I'm finished with the single life. Finished with the single life. I wanna make enough love. We can take our time and do it right. I wanna show you how I feel, baby. Baby, it's so real. We can make it last, put it on wax. Baby, I wanna make enough love to you, baby. I want you to say my name, say it, baby. Say my name, Elijahbland, say it. Said I wanna make enough love so that we know we belong on a record, babe.
Thank you.